Hello everyone, and welcome to another of my clips from my creative collection. This one's another way of mounting your work. I had so many likes and thousands of views on the clip I did called Innovative Mounting that I thought I'd do a different take on it. It's the one where I made the deckled edges, and it proved really popular, and I'd already got another way in mind, but I thought I didn't want to overload you all in one session, so this is another way. I'm using a Caddy sketchbook. Trying to see if I've got the cover somewhere. No, I haven't. This is Caddy paper, KHADI, available online and not very expensive. It's handmade paper, and what I do is, you know, fiddle about in them, and sometimes I rip some pages out and use them as normal sheets of watercolour paper. It's only, I don't know if it's £90 or £100, with it being so small, it's not that thick, might be only £90. So I've ripped one out of this book and I'm using it here, and I've cut it down, and the edges I've used my deckle-edged ripper, which are available online, or you can just tear it yourself. You know, you don't have to buy one of these. I've had this one years. And I've cut it down to the size of 15 centimetres by 17 centimetres. I'm just going to do a little quick painting. Now, I don't know if you can hear the rain, but I think it's raining all over England today. It's a very grey day, and it made me want to paint a grey, cold, miserable scene, but with some light in it. So you know, that's what we've got in mind, what I've got in mind to show you how to do. And I've not practiced or anything, because I feel I do a better job when I do it ad hoc. So I'm using Soda Light Genuine, which is a Daniel Smith's colour, and it's a really dark grey, and I'm just mixing some up to the consistency of single cream. Now I am wetting the paper, but I'm not saturating it. So, and I have taped the corners down because the paper is so thin, it will cockle if I don't. It'll still cockle a little bit anyway, but I'm not wetting it as much as I normally would when I do a wet painting, for that reason. So let's think of a horrible grey day. Let's get some of this Soda Light Genuine in as a sky.
Stormy.
Stormy? Stormy what?
Day.
So anyway, I'm doing a stormy sky, a grey stormy sky. I'm just letting it bleed down, and encouraging it to do that by adding more water with this big brush. I need it darker in places. This isn't a lesson on a painting, by the way, it's a lesson on another innovative way to mount your work, but anyway, we need something to show it off, so I'm going to do some at the bottom as well. All in this grey colour. Remember, the theme is grey. Grey day. You'll see why at the end, why I've chosen grey. Not just the miserable grey day here, and there's another reason as well. Now I'm going to do a suggestion of some distant hills or something like that there. So you can see it's all grey. Let's add some more contrast up there. And I'm going to put a little bit of sepia ink into that. No, I know what I've got. Okay, so this is the Daler-Rowney black pearlescent ink, acrylic ink, FW acrylic ink, and it's quite thick actually, with a bit of sparkly in it, but let's see how we get on. I always had granulation medium. Well, that looks a bit messy, doesn't it? Let's hope we can turn it into something. Okay, granulation medium now. Winsor & Newton granulation medium. A pipette. Putting it straight into the ink. It'll all run down, and I've got it really wet now, but I have to for the granulation to work and do its thing. So I'm smudging that up there. And I'm going to have to wait for this to dry soon. But let me move it around where I want it to go. To show some of that soda-like genuine granulation that's happening, but I want something with a bit of oomph as well. So let's just have a little wipe around. I've got some grey ink as well now. So this is called Cool Grey, another FW ink. It's not pearlescent like the black, although you can't really tell that's pearlescent on there. Okay, so I've got granulation already on there. I'm just going to wait. I've perhaps add a little drop more, but it will work with the grey ink as well, what I put on top of the black. Right, let's move it around a little bit now. Can you see how wet it is? So I'm letting that run off. Let's mop it up. I think we'll add a little bit more granulation. Some lovely effects there, haven't I? A little bit more black into that. More kitchen roll. Bend it either way again, that one going that way, that one going that way. Right, I'm just thinking now, I'm just thinking of the shapes that are there. I like this area. There's a bit of a line thing there and there. Also, I've got to cover those corners in with ink rather. I've got to cover them. That's that, like that. And then with this brush, this angle shader brush, lift out a little horizon light. Oh, that's got green paint on. Never mind. Got it off now. Just need that little line there, lifting out. Take it a bit higher up, I think. Okay. A bit more black. This will carry on working whilst it's drying and create even more lovely effects. I mean, I could add gouache there if I wanted to make that horizon line a little bit more prominent. I might do, you know, I might not. Wait to see what it's like when it's dry. Can you see those lovely things happening? And that's a bit of a blob there, so let's move that a little bit. I can see a picture coming now. Okay, so I need to let that dry, and then I'll do a little tiny bit more work into it, and then we'll frame it in the new innovative way. Okay, this is all lovely and dry, lots of nice things happening on there, nothing special but it's interesting. So the purpose of this video is to show you another way of mounting your work. The painting is incidental, but I think this will turn out to be a good one anyway. So I've got like a miserable grey day. That was in my mind when I put the background on. Now I'm going to add, and I want to liven it up a bit, I want to add some white, and you'll see why soon. Keep hanging on, don't I? So I'm going to spatter some white ink. This is FW acrylic ink in white, and I'm going to spatter some of that using my palette knife. I'm turning it upside down, and I'm putting the ink underneath, and I'm turning it over and it doesn't fall off, and then I'm doing that, pulling the blade back like that. I want a really loose cow parsley, so I'm just spattering. Want some bigger marks. So I don't want it to end smack in the middle, so I'm coming over a little bit. That's why I move the horizon line up. Can't get much simpler than that, can you? Okay, just put that to one side. I'll get a rigger brush and use some of the things, the blobs, to create the little seed heads of wonderful cow parsley. I paint loads of cow parsley. I'm always searching for ways to make it looser, but to show what it is, if you know what I mean. So let's add some of that down there like that. And that's all it was, a few spatters, but we can all tell that is cow parsley. How easy is that? Right, so that's really standing out lovely, just what I wanted. Get some kitchen roll, and I'm just getting this flat brush now. I'm just dipping into my acrylic ink, which I decanted into this old milk bottle top, by the way. So I'm just using this flat brush, and I just want to emphasise just a little bit that horizon line there. Just that much, and then wash back a little bit so it doesn't stand out too much, something like that. did you see here as well, I left a bit of a gap where I did the stem of the cow parsley. It's much better than having a solid heavy line. You know, you could even lift off little bits like that. Looks much more natural and fits into the picture a lot better. So one thing I've thought of, right, this is like an area of rough ground where weeds are growing and cow parsley thrive. So I'm going back into the Sodalite Genuine and just making a few marks here and there, just some shapes, just so it doesn't stand out too much. It's up to you. You know, if you want to have a go at this, you can do your own thing really. Might do a little bit of spattering down there as well, but not do anything with the spattering, just to add interest. So I'm going back in the Sodalite Genuine, wiping my palette knife, doing exactly the same again. I think it's a little bit too thick, my paint. That's it, that's nice. And then I need to do that also with the grey ink. So I'll stick my brush straight in there, then straight on my palette knife. So everything ties in then. I've got all the colours that I've used tying in and adding a more textural effect in the foreground. Okay, let's overwork it. Just concentrating on that horizon line a little bit more. Perhaps a little bit too more than I wanted, so I'm going to get this flat brush and just do something like that, drag that down a little bit. Okay, that's okay. So the idea of the whole exercise is about mounting, but you've also had a lovely little video about creating a lovely little painting. So back to my sketchbook, the Caddy handmade sketchbook paper. Inside there's a grey sheet of paper. I don't know why, to be honest, but it's lovely textured paper. And the fat Caddy sketchbooks, which are called fat Caddy, are about that thick, and they've got grey covers in that paper and also that one inside. So what I did is I ripped a sheet of white paper out to paint on, which you've seen me do, but I also ripped out the grey sheet out of my other sketchbook, which is exactly the same as that, and that gives me this sheet of paper here, right, which is roughly 21 centimetres square. So what I thought would be nice is I've got some PVA glue and just squeeze a little bit out, squeeze it onto this little piece of paper here. You could use a Pritt stick, you know, it's up to you, whatever glue you use. So I'm just going to, that's still wet, so I would normally put some of the glue underneath that, but I can't turn it over. So just to show you and to stick it into place, we're having double texture here. We're having textured lovely handmade paper there and textured paper that we're sticking it on as well. So that's roughly done, but you know, when you have a go yourself, that will go on there like that. So I'm trying to centralise it, which I have done, which gives me that. And then I've got a mount which I can put round and just need to reposition a little bit. So there you have this lovely, interesting little painting mounted on the grey textured paper, as well as being painted on textured paper. It's not stuck down very well because I can't press down because it's still wet. But as with the Innovative Mount #1 clip, if you've not seen it, you must have a look. I'm just going to sign it with a Neo Colour, Caran d'Ache Neo Colour crayon, water soluble crayon, which are really good. I use these a lot. Just going to sign it. Like that, and that's it really. You know, a lovely little thing. You could change the background paper if you wanted to. You could, well, it's never ending what you can do, isn't it? But the white sets it off with the white mount, so you know, I'm really pleased with that, really. Okay, so that's another creative clip over with. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's just amazing what you can do in a short space of time, really, and I really enjoy doing these for you, especially as they're free. But if you want to make sure you don't miss any, please share it, and follow me or subscribe on YouTube too. It's all free, and if you click on the link below the description of this particular video, it'll take you straight over to my Vimeo channel, where you'll see some more free creative clips, as well as some in-depth workshops that you can purchase and join me, that last an hour or hour and a half, and we do a full painting. You can follow me on Facebook, Jane Betteridge Watercolours. I always put everything on there that I do. Or why not go over to my website, janebetteridge.com, and everything is on there as well, and any news, etc, etc. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a like and a share and subscribe, all free of charge, and then I can get more notice.